In this video, we'll look at how to pronounce the word which is written here in Devanagari. Sometimes it is pronounced like Yagya, Yajna, etc. So take a quick look at the pronunciation behind this word. This word has two different letters. The first one is Ya, which is not the focus of the current video, how to pronounce Ya. So you must already know that. Now the second part, which is written here, has three letters into it, or three sounds into it. It is a Sanyukta Akshara. So the first one is Ja, second one is Nya, third one is A, which are written in Devanagari here. The first one, Ja, Vyanjana, it is a consonant. Vyanjana is a Talavya sound. Means Talavya means what? How is the Talu sound or Talavya sound pronounced? It is pronounced by raising the top flat part of the tongue and touching it at the top part inside the mouth. Top means the top flat part, which is also called palate or the soft palate sometimes. So there you take the top part of the tongue, flat part, and block the air. So that is the Talavya sound. That's when you block the air without releasing it, because there's a consonant. It is just sitting there like if you release it with the sound, it becomes ja. We are still not yet releasing it because we have to add the next sound to it. Okay? The first is that is stopping there. And then the next sound is, what is the next sound? Ya. It is also a Talavya sound, ya, which is Talavya plus Anunasaka. It is just not Talavya. Talavya plus Anunasaka means it is an Anunasaka sound, means it needs the help of two things to pronounce it. One is because it is a Talavya, the same blockage of air is there at the same place where the top flat part of the tongue is blocking the air at the palate inside the cavity of the mouth, that is blocking the air. Now the air has to pass through mouth also to pronounce nya. So we are pronouncing it like ing. So note that it is keep the position of the mouth where the pronunciation of ja was there before. Additionally, we are also using the nose to push the air out at the same time. So we have okay. So we have two letters here now, first ja and nya. Now the last one is the swara which we want to release. Swara is the kantha or kantha swara, which has no element of nasika in it or nose in it. So while releasing the air, the nose should not be involved, okay, at the final one. Okay. So final So first we have ja, ya, So when you pronounce that together, okay, so it becomes yeah, yeah. It's not, the ja and ya should be quickly pronounced. There should not be like a slow motion or a pause between them. If it is pause, then it is going to sound like ja. Okay? So it is quick ja. So together ya, and after that ja. So how do you have to pronounce that? Yajna, yajna, yajna. So Talavya, ja, and Talavya plus Anunasaka nya, and then a. So then note that this pushing the air through the nose is just before pronouncing the is, we are not using as an Anunasika sound here. Is a simple sound. There is no nose involved there. So yajna, yajna. So this is the pronunciation technique. If we know what is the position of j and nya, yajna. Pronouncing this yajna is not easy, or it is confusing, because especially the nya sound is a confusing sound for many. So sometimes people tend to pronounce it as the, with the yajna, which is the kara, or the sound of the is dantya, where the tongue, the tip of the tongue hits the back of the teeth there, yajna. So that is not correct here, and many times the people just pronounce it as yagna, simple g. They add a g there, yagna. So that gakara is also not there, and in large parts many people also pronounce it as yagya, simple yagya. So all these variations are not actually correct, because we have a j and nya there. So you have to keep that in mind. What are the positions? And position means sthana of the ucharana, and karana or instrument, with what the air is being blocked and how they are being pronounced, the j and ya there. So if you keep that in mind and try to practice it, like yajna, yajna. So sometimes it sounds like the, but while you are pronouncing it, keep that in mind that we should not touch that. We should not pronounce it as a the, yajna. It is yajna, yajna. So keep that in mind. It should be simple to pronounce it if we keep practicing it. As far as writing this word yajna is concerned, if we are using the Devanagari script, then there should not be any problem. So it is easy as shown here. Either we can write it with like this, which is shown here on the left, or we can just write it with the component individual letters separated, ya, ya, ja, and nya. Or even you can separate nya and as a vyanjana and swara. It is the same thing. Even if you write separate letters using Devanagari, the pronunciation remains the same, yajna. Whereas if we want to use either some other script, for example, here we have Roman script, which is used to write English language. In this, there is no script, or there is no symbol for the letter or the sound nya. So here is the difficulty. So we need to make up some combination of letters which exist in this Roman script to represent the sound nya. So there are already some standard transliteration schemes. Transliteration means mapping between which symbol in the Roman script represents what sound. So here some of the transliteration schemes are shown here: IAST, ISO, Monier Williams, Harvard, Kyoto, etc. So if we use we can use any of these, and then if we use like Harvard, let's say Harvard, Kyoto, this transliteration scheme. So here the symbol for nya sound is shown here as J, uppercase J and A for nya and a. So using that, yajna can be written like va a, lowercase letter j for j, and uppercase J for nya, and then A. That doesn't mean it should be pronounced yajja, because it looks like, if you are thinking of English pronunciation, it sounds like it is yajja. It is not yajja. This is just a transliteration scheme. So you have to be aware of what transliteration scheme is being used, yajna. And similarly, if you use itrans transliteration scheme, then we have that the weird symbol there, and there is a NA. So it has to be pronounced the same way. Then we have the SLP1 If we use that transliteration, we have a uppercase Y for nya sound. Again, it is should not be pronounced Yajya, just because it is written like that. They are just the symbols. There is the same pronunciation Yajna. Then we have the last one transliteration, which is called WX, which uses uppercase F here to pronounce the same sound. So the writing is different. We have to understand if you are using the Devanagari, we have the symbol for nya sound, but if you are using a Roman script, then depending on the transliteration scheme, the writing could be different. But overall, the pronunciation remains same. धन्यवादः.